Good day, students. Today we're going to look at another solution. This is number 2 on page 63, part of the sample assignment in book 3, chapter 7 on similar triangles. Now you can see in this particular one we're asked to find two values here, y, which is DC, and x, the length of EB. So again, we have triangles that are overlapping, similar triangles, so it may help you to separate them. So the first thing I'm going to do is do exactly that. Let's separate into two triangles. I'm going to draw the big one first and draw them in the same orientation, which they are in this case anyway. So let me see now if I can quickly sketch these triangles. There's that one and the small one. Okay, so you get an idea now. There's your two triangles. Okay, labeling those. Looks like this is A, C, B, and the little one is E, D, B. Now, are the triangles similar, first of all? Now, these double arrows here and here, arrowheads, mean that those lines are parallel. Now, if those lines are parallel, it means that this angle corresponds to this one and they're equal. Okay, so this angle here, A, equals angle E. B and angle C would correspond then to angle D. They're corresponding angles, so they would be equal. So C would equal D. And of course, we know B is a common angle or a shared angle. Alright, so B here is equal to B, obviously here. They're the same angle. So yes, these triangles are similar. Okay, so that means we can use proportions to solve them. Now, we know side AC is 18. We know side ED is 6. Those sides are fixed, okay? And we know that DB, this side DB is 12. Okay, so that fits in here as 12. And this side EB is equal to X. Now side AC is how much? Now look, this piece is 30 and this piece is X, right? So we want the length of the whole side here. How much is this side all the way down from A to B? Well, that's going to be 30 plus X, isn't it? Or X plus 30. So I'm going to call this side here X. I'll put the variable first, plus 30. So side AB is X plus 30. Now I'm going to repeat that process over here on the other sides, just a different color. Look at, I'm doing this side here now, C, B, all the way down. And you can see that that is, I have to add up these two sides, 12 and Y, to get that, don't I? So this is Y plus 12. And I'll write that in the diagram over here. This is Y plus 12. So now we have the triangles separated, determined they were similar, and we have all the sides marked. So now let's set up our proportions. Corresponding side of one to the corresponding side of the other. Now if I start with the big triangle, I'm going to say 18 is to 6. So I'll go this way, 18 is to 6, right? I'll write it like this, 18 is to 6, okay? Let me just make sure I get rid of that amiss there and write that again, 18 is to 6, as, now if I start with, it doesn't matter which one, let's do Y first. So it's going to be as this side, start with the larger triangle, is to this side, right? As Y plus 12 is to 12. Okay, see how I set that up? Now, as Y plus 12 is to 12. Now, that's 1. So we're going to cross multiply and solve that. Okay? So let's go ahead and finish this one. So we have 6 times Y plus 12 equals 18 times 12. Alright? So we get 6y distributive property, and 6 times 12 which is 72, equals 18 times 12, which is 216. Okay, 18 times 12. Now what do we do? Now we have to subtract 72 from both sides, leaving me with 6y equals 216. Subtract 72. Bring that up here to finish. So 6y equals 216. Subtract 72 is 144. And now divide each side by 6. And that will leave me with y equal to what? Divide 144 by 6 and we get 24. So there's one solution. The value of y is 24. Now, how do we set up our next one, of course, which is our x value? How do we find the value of x? Again, corresponding side of the larger triangle, if we start with say 18 again, is to 6, right? 18 is to 6, as now we're trying to do x, right? So we got x plus 30 is to x. So if you start with the bigger triangle on top of both up, right? Then you start with the bigger triangle on top on the other side, don't you? So it's bigger over smaller equals bigger over smaller. Okay, so that's that ratio set up, and again we cross multiply to solve. So we get 18 times x equals 6 times x plus 30, or the other way, doesn't matter which one you start with. 18x equals, now again distributive property, 6 times x is 6x, 6 times 30 is 180. Now we have two x terms, so we have to gather them together. So subtract 6x from both sides. I get 18x subtract 6x equals 180, and that's 12x equals 180. Divide each side by 12, and I will get x equal to, let's see, 180 divided by 12 is 15. Okay, so the final answer for this one, x equals 15. Okay, so that's number 2 on page 63 of the sample assignment in chapter 7.